the baseball world, there is nothing quite like watching the Cubs back in Wrigley Field. The Cubs got their third consecutive home series sweep. Welcome back to Clark and Addison, Born into the Ivy. I'm your host, David Butler. Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave us a 5-star review. The Arizona Diamondbacks came to Wrigley Field and left 0-3. The Cubs have now won 5 in a row, their second longest streak of the year, and are 16-4 in their last 20 games. They have gone from 2 under 500 to 10 games over 500 in that span. They have also won 11 in a row at home now. Friday's game seemed to be one the Cubs were going to run away with early, as the Cubs jumped out to 3 runs in the first inning, followed by 3 more runs in the fourth, which made the score 6-1. But Ryan Rollison had his first bad outing and gave up 3 runs of his own, while Colin Ray, who pitched very well overall, gave up 2 runs in 5 1/3 innings. Phil Maton and Jacob Webb closed out the last 3 innings, though, and looked good doing so to end the game. Jacob Webb went 2 innings to earn his first save of the season. Game 2 was with the Ian Happ and Shota Imanaga game, a game in which the Cubs had 9 base runners. 7 of those were from Ian Happ and Michael Busch. Happ hit a home run in the second inning to get the scoring going and then tripled in the 8th, scoring in the next at-bat on a Seiya Suzuki sac fly. He finished a single shy of the cycle. The homer, though, was all Shota and Ben Brown needed, as they combined for a 4-hitter, striking out 6. Shota went 7 very strong innings, and Ben freaking Brown got the 2-inning save. The 7th Cubs pitcher to get a save this season. I believe that is a ML record, or not record, ML high for the team. On Sunday, Arizona took a lead for the first time in the series in the top of the second as Gabriel Moreno hit a 2-run homer off Matthew Boyd. The Cubs answered with 1 in the bottom half of the second before taking a 3-2 lead in the third via a Moises Ballesteros 2-run home run. The Cubs added 5 more runs in the 5th and the 7th, with Michael Busch leading the way again, adding 4 RBIs, and Carson Kelly quietly adding 2 more himself. Kelly, speaking of quietly, is leading the team in batting average at .325, and I think that would shock most people. Ben Brown now has a 1.82 ERA, and his hard hit rate percentage has dropped from 47.3 to 36.4 in 2026. The biggest unsung heroes for the weekend have to be the starting pitchers. The Cubs starters this weekend, Colin Ray, Shota Imanaga, and Matthew Boyd, combined for 18 and third innings, 4 earned runs, 16 Ks, and 2 walks. That's outstanding work and a great way to save a battered and beleaguered bullpen.
Go Cubs, go!
Oh, and guess who's back on the active roster as of today, on Sunday? Daniel Palencia. With Phil Maton having 2 consecutive scoreless innings now, Hobie Milner still shutting it down, Ben Brown doing what he's been doing, and don't look now, but Jacob Webb now has only allowed 1 earned run in his last 5 appearances, spanning 5 innings. If those 4 can get it together to bridge the gap to Palencia in the 9th, that would be quite the setup, and we haven't even talked about guys like Caleb Thielbar, Hunter Harvey, and Ethan Roberts. I get Harvey, probably not what most people want to think of, but if he can get healthy and be what we want, here we go. Speaking of those 3 players, let's talk about some injuries. Again, this is via MLB.com. We talked about Justin Steele some with the flexor strain at the midweek show, and I don't want to go down that road again. It's just depressing. Jordan Wicks now has made 3 rehab starts. The latest on the 28th did not yield very good results as he gave up 6 runs in Iowa. So take that with what you want. Riley Martin, at this point, he had went on to IL on the 25th. No, the 24th, I'm sorry. He has a flexor strain and is expected to be out at least a total of 8 weeks. I would expect maybe more, a little bit more. Theobar is throwing again, and that's a good sign. Still, Cubs are hoping that he will not miss more than he'll be able to come back around his eligibility date, which would be awesome news. No real update on Hunter Harvey from last week. He's throwing, still has a whole lot of hurdles to jump before he's really even considered ready to come back. So, Ethan Roberts has made 2 rehab appearances on the 25th and 28th of April. That seemed to go well from what I can tell. I haven't found too much about that, though. We are still waiting the next steps for him. I want to talk about the Cubs defense. The Cubs defense last year was amazing. The foundation of the team seems to be a great defense, especially up the middle, but just a great overall defense. The team has done an incredible job. They won the first ever Team Gold Glove last year for the National League, and they got that on Saturday. Michael Bush got his. Not Michael Bush, I'm sorry. Ian Happ got his. Nico Horner and Pete Crow Armstrong. I think it was Nico's second, Pete's first, and Ian Happ's fourth consecutive. So via Fangraphs, Cubs defense, 3 Cubs are in the top 10 in MLB with OAA, which is outs above average, which is the average player. Pete is number 1 or tied for number 1 with Bobby Witt Jr. with 8 of those. Nico Horner has 7 and is third, and Michael Bush is tied with several others with 4 in 10th place. So that's 3 in the top 10 for that. That's really, really cool. And then I went through to see who all was top 10 in their respective position. The Cubs had 4 players with that, as Michael Bush is second and first baseman. Nico Horner's first with second baseman. Ian Happ is sixth with left fielders. And Pete is first in center field. The Cubs also have 3 guys who rank in the top 25 of baseball in DRS, which is defensive runs saved. Pete is number 1 with 10 of those. Nico is 19th with 4, and Ian Happ is 25th with 3. Let's talk about the Cincinnati Reds preview. Our probable starters on Monday is Chase Petty, who has not had a start this year, versus Edward Cabrera, who is 3-0 with a 3.06 ERA. On Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday games, I apologize, are 7:40 Eastern Standard Time, so 6:40 Chicago time. Those are those starts, and then we have a 2:20/1:20 Chicago time start on Thursday. Tuesday's probable starters are Andrew Abbott versus Jameson Taillon. Abbott is 1-2 with a 5.97 ERA so far this season, but he has absolutely crushed the Cubs in the past. I mean, crushed them, especially last year. He will face Jameson Taillon, who is 2-1 with a 4.41 ERA and far better at Wrigley Field. Wednesday will be Brady Singer versus Colin Ray. Singer is 2-2 with a 5.57 ERA, and Ray 4-1 with a 4.41 ERA. On Thursday will be Rhett Lauder versus Shota Imanaga. Lauder is 3-2 with a 5.09 ERA, and Shota is 3-2 with a 2.40 ERA. The Reds have been in first a good portion of the season so far, but find themselves now 2 games back entering this series after losing the last 3 to the Pirates and being 4-6 in the last 10. They are tied with the Cardinals in second place in the Central. They are 10-6 on the road, but only 1-5 against teams above 500. The Cubs entered this matchup 14-5 at Wrigley and 4-5 against teams above 500, while also riding an 11-game home winning streak and a 5-game winning streak period. Cincinnati is averaging 4.27 runs per game, which is 19th in the league, while the Cubs average 5.36 runs per game, second in the league.
Go Cubs go!
That's right. They also have a team ERA of 3.89, 11th overall, versus the Reds, who have a 4.59, which is 25th overall. The Reds pitching is a bit of a surprise, but they have been without two of their best starters this season in Hunter Green and Nick Lodolo. Couple that with an unusual and unexpected start of the season from Andrew Abbott, and the only consistent starter the Reds have had this season has been Chase Burns, who the Cubs will conveniently not have to face this week since he started today for the Reds and lost 1-0. But he didn't take the loss. He went 7 innings of shutout baseball. Ellie De La Cruz and Sal Stewart have been carrying the offensive load for the Redlegs this season. But do not discount Spencer Steer, TJ Friedel, Tyler Stevenson, or Eugenio Suarez, who for some reason or another, love to show up and show out against the Cubs, especially Friedel and Suarez. Friedel must be the name, TJ. I think I made this joke last year when we get ready to play the Reds. One of my good buddies, his name is TJ, and he's a stupid Reds fan. So, anyway, our players of the week for this week. Pete was my offensive player of the week, position player, with his 2 home runs, 6 RBIs against San Diego. I thought about Dansby. He had by far the best batting average for the team this week at 455. So maybe we'll just make them co-player of the week. Our starting pitcher is Shota Imanaga. Shota went 7 innings, 4 hits, shutout baseball, and 5 Ks on Saturday. Dominated that game. And our relief pitcher of the week was Ben Brown. 3 games, 5 2/3 innings, a 0.00 ERA. And listen to this crap. The dude has a 118 batting average this week, a 158 on base percentage, and a 118 slug. He walked 1 batter. He only struck out a few. But he's doing this without striking batters out, kids. Did I say this earlier? His hard hit rate, I want to reiterate, has dropped 11 percentage points. That's insane. From 47.3 to 36.4 from last year to this year. And that's where he's succeeding. And that is where that sinker has come in so handy and made a huge, huge deal for him. So, thank you very much for watching and or listening to Clark and Addison Born into the Ivy. I'm David Butler. Thank you again. Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave us a 5-star review and leave us some comments. I'd love to hear from you. Have a great day, and let's go Cubs.
Go Cubs, go!